Hello and welcome to the Chair NFC North Edition, special edition of the NFL Season Preview 2019. We are going to the down and gritty division of the NFC North. And last year, if you remember, the Chicago Bears were back in the playoffs and reigned. And they were the talk of the division. They were the only ones who pretty much stood out. And Minnesota just fell apart. Green Bay was injured. Detroit, well, wasn't Detroit, I guess. But Chicago, they're back. They're solid. They made a few moves, and we're going to go through them. We're going to talk about Chicago and see what they get. Now, Mitchell Trubisky, some like him and some don't, but some don't realize. Honestly, when you think about the Bears, you don't think about quarterback. And they've had a few for a long time. They haven't really had a franchise quarterback. And Mitchell Trubisky has become theirs. And just with a little help, he'll be there a long time. And with Mitchell, he'll continue to pour it on. He'll continue to be a guy who can run out of the flat and throw, as the game has now become a passing game, and he'll be there. Now, they traded Jordan Howard, which was shocking, I think, to most in Philadelphia. And at first, the move was just shocking and odd, and I didn't really get it. They still have Tarek Cohen. He's a little man, but he can do a lot. He can run. He has speed. He has talent. And then they have a rookie that they drafted. They have high hopes on him. That's Noel. Receiving core, they have Allen Robinson. They have Taylor Gabriel, Anthony Miller, and Cordell Patterson, who's been moving around a lot as of late. And he's one of those return guys that can make a difference. And if anybody knows that, it's Minnesota, who he used to play with. So see how those weapons go. Troy Burton has become one of the best tight ends in the NFL, just my opinion, with the Chicago Bears. Very good player. They have Leno Jr., Kyle Long as stalwarts on the offensive line, keeping Trubisky protected and keeping the running game going, making holes, open the holes and protecting QBs, and that's what they do. Now, of course, the stud about the Chicago Bears, as you know, all through the years, it's always been the defense. If it hasn't been running backs, it's been defense. And Hicks is awesome. The 96. Hicks is just amazing. He's making plays last year. Great guy. Just knows what to do on the defensive line. And this one hurts me because I'm a Raider fan, but Khalil Mack had more sacks by himself than the whole Raider team last year. Yeah. Okay. I'm still that greeting trade. I'm still trying to consume it. Just pay the man. And Chicago did, and it's working out for him so well. Hicks, Mack, they have Trevathan with Mack, Smith as a linebacking corps that's one of the best in the league, maybe the best in the NFC. It's so amazing what he does. Fritz Akamura in the secondary with Cal Fuller, he's awesome as corners. And at the safeties, Clinton Dixon, Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson was just a stud last year. And Clinton Dix is trying to prove to the Packers, a division full, that you're wrong for getting rid of me, and I'm not going to be with the Bears. I'm going to give you hell. Now, the way that the season ended for the Bears last year, you may remember the missed kick by Harkey, and I believe he hasn't been picked up by anyone. That win could have got him face the Rams, but they lost in the wild card round, and they're looking to avenge that. Elliott Fry, Eddie Pinero, kickers, are going to try to stay out of the limelight by just making their kicks and doing their job. And it's a daunting task now because all eyes are on their kickers. And in spots where the offense stalls and they can't score touchdowns, oh boy. All eyes are on the kickers when they're out there. So that's Chicago. So let's go up to Minnesota. This is Carlos De La Torre's ball club. And the Vikings, let's just say they had a down year last year. Kirk Cousins, the quarterback, the $84 million, Carlos? I forget the contract. At any rate, it's a hefty penny to pay for him, but they did, and he is truly the definition of a up and down quarterback. Have his great weeks, he'll have his bad weeks, he'll have his okay weeks, and it seems just at the biggest spots, he'll throw an interception, he'll be sacked and fumbles, he'll do something just why, why would you do? The running backs, Dalvin Cook was out all last year, so he's trying to come back. Abdullah back with the Vikings, and he's shaped kind of like a receiver. Abdullah is, but he can turn it upfield. He can really turn it upfield. So look out for that duo in Minnesota, and they need them to go. They really do. The receiving core, it's up there. Adam Thielen, of course, makes it who they are. He's one of those fantasy studs. Catch you over the middle, go deep on a route. Stephon Diggs, it seems like after the Minnesota Miracle, he really tailored off, and if he wants it, he'll prove that he's that one miracle play just wasn't. He's not about only that. He can be great. They just have to give him the ball, give him some touches, give him some passes, and see him go. Now, I think this guy is a top 10 tight end. Kyle Rudolph, he always puts up big numbers, and the Vikings need him too. As I think the quarterbacks, there's always the tight end as the safety blanket, and that's Kyle Rudolph for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. They have a solid offensive line, win healthy, and win they're doing their job. If not, Kirk Cousins is getting beat up, and for that, he's making terrible decisions, and that's got to stop. So the Vikings want to get over the hump in the division, or get a wild card spot. Whatever they want to do, they can do as long as Cousins is upright and throwing. Leno Joseph on the defensive side, and Griffin. They're two veteran studs up front on the line that can pressure quarterbacks. Linebackers, Anthony Barr from UCLA. Eric Hendricks, great player as well. The linebacking core. Secondary, you have the great safety Harrison Smith. You have Xavier Rhodes for the corner. Now, the one thing they're they're going with Dan Bailey at kicker. The draft pick, Vidic, did not work out, and they released him. So that'd be interesting to see Dan Bailey back on the NFL team and kicking in tight spots, and we'll see that week one as they play their games. Now let's go across the state east to Green Bay, Wisconsin, with the Green Bay Packers. They also had a bad year. Injuries was their Achilles heel. A lot of injuries on the offensive line. Left tackle, left guard were out all last year. And Aaron Rodgers, he's amazing. Do not get me wrong. He's amazing. In a sense, he's almost like a diva to me. And I know I'm going to have Packer fans all over this and, saying, why are you saying that? Well, they have a new system, new coach, Matt LaFleur. And shout out to him, by the way. I forgot, did he break an ankle, twist his ankle, something in playing pickup basketball, I think it was, in the offseason, their new head coach. But it seemed like, I almost said A-Rod, but, Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, they're at odds about the offense and how they want to do things. And they just have to get that squared away. They have to go with what's comfortable for Aaron Rodgers because he's the one with the ball. He's the one throwing those deep balls and good balls and making it happen. But he needs a protection. And we'll get into that in a bit. Because he was out a long time because he got hit. They hit a lot. Aaron Jones is in running back core now, full time with Jamal Williams, because Ty Montgomery was foolish and lost his spot. He's now serving time with the New York Jets behind Le'Veon Bell. So I guess that's his punishment. I guess. At receiving core, they have a stud, of course, and Devontae Adams. In a lot of fantasy leagues, he's up there. He's the main target for Aaron Rodgers, so we'll see how he does. Allison is there as well. There's Valdez Scantling, crazy name to say, but he's trying to get more touches and prove that he can be not the top receiver there, but at least above Allison. Tight end Jimmy Graham and Mercedes Lewis, which I didn't know was still in the league. Mercedes Lewis from UCLA. It's pretty cool. I thought he was retired. He was with the Jags for a long time. But I guess not. But Jimmy Graham, if you remember him, fit well in Seattle and in New Orleans, but he did not fit well last year with Green Bay, as everybody thought he would. He would just be plugged right in, and he would be one of the main targets, but it didn't seem like it worked out. That offensive line with Bakari, with Lindsey, with Beluga, they are the ones that are making the Packers go. If they're not protecting Aaron Rodgers, those three with the others, Packers don't go anywhere. And they stacked up on the defense. If you look at their free agency spending money, they signed up on a young defense, free agency-wise. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. Mason Crosby's still there. Good kicker, and You know what? I still remember the game in Detroit where he missed, I think, 4 field goals, and I guess you're looking at him and you're saying, oh. But that's who they're going with. So check out those young. I don't have it with me. I should, but I'm just getting back long day and with Green Bay. How these all young defensive players work together. It would be amazing. Let's go up to Detroit and talk about the Lions, who are trying to prove everybody wrong. The owner said they are a Super Bowl team. The owner is probably losing her mind literally. They are quarterback, but Matthew Stafford, one of the best offensive quarterbacks in the league, when not getting knocked down, when having a chance to throw. He did lose some targets, but the running backs, Kenyon Johnson, C.J. Anderson, who proved himself worthy with the LA Rams in the late season and playoffs when Gurley was banged up with his knee issue. So it'd be interesting to see C.J. Anderson do his thing. Zach Zenner, who's been there a while, he's a great fullback. He's unknown, but he's fast. To be fast, he's not unknown, but he's unknown that he can really make some things happen. He'll surprise you. Receiving core is Galloway, and he's the main target. Marvin Jones, and then they picked up Danny Amendola, which I guess he felt fine with Matt Patricia, their head coach, who's just trying to keep it together and trying to build his own Belichick-like way of doing things in Detroit. It was odd, but I think he had some type of knee injury or leg injury. But he did a game in preseason where he's got that I forget I don't know what they call it, but basically where you keep your leg elevated and bent, and then you're just riding around on the scooter, and he did that. So he was riding around the sidelines with it at first, and then he got on top of the platform, and he's overseeing the bench and the field from a higher point. And I wonder if we'll see that in the regular season. And, will there be memes about it from Matt Patricia? That'd be interesting to see. I'm not making fun of his injuries whatsoever. I don't wish that on nobody. But it was just one of those things where, like, is that the future for head coaching where, you're high above everybody on the sideline, but not in the booth, and you're looking down at everyone, looking down at the field. It's an interesting position for head coach. That's all I thought. Now, the blanket for Big Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh has moved on to Detroit. Jesse James. He's now with the Lions, and he's trying to make his name known there on a wanted sign, I guess you could say. But they have this tight end who they drafted high from Iowa, T.J. Hawkinson. Hacky-son. And it'd be interesting if James is mentoring TJ, and if they have two tight end sets, how will they both work? That'd be interesting to see there. The defensive line is anchored by Harrison. He was traded from the Giants to the Lions, and he's looking to continue to do his thing there. Daniels is there as well on the defensive line. They're trying to wreak havoc, go after quarterbacks. The secondary is Darius Slay, Justin Coleman. Those are the two that stand out. And their kicker, who's been there a little while now, has been Matt Prater. He's he's shown his worth. He's doing real well with the Lions kicking. So with that, I have the division going Chicago in first, Minnesota in second, Green Bay in third, and Detroit in last. I want to believe the hype, and I would hope Detroit would do better, but it never seems like they have enough. Even with Calvin Johnson, even with Barry Sanders, there's always something missing. And now it seems like all they have is Stafford and just a bunch of guys. And Damian Harrison, I know on the defensive line, will tell you that's wrong. I'm here. There's others here. They just have to prove their worth. Losing Golden Tate was bad, yes. And he's going to be with the Giants, and we'll preview him next on the next episode. Excuse me, of the chair. So that was the NFC North preview. Again, I have the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions in that order for the division. The Vikings are serious, Carlos. Maybe they'll get a wild card and surprise someone. But again, it's all resting on Kirk Cousins. Whatever he wants is his world, and he'll do it. So for that, we will see you on the next episode of The Chair NFL season preview, where we do the interesting, always interesting NFC East. Later.